Okay. Uh, Sorry for the for the audio and for the video thing and all, because right now I'm out of the city, so there might be some issues in regard with audio. And yeah, video, yeah, I can do that because the network, there is an issue with it. So okay, I'll try to connect. Like if there is a good network, I'll try to put myself on the video also, so that it will be good for us to get connected, right? And okay, let's proceed. Right. So yeah, your pre-results are out, right? And yeah, proceeding for the mains right now. And you have been following your mains pattern over a period of time, how it is changing and how this has been evolving. For last past 2 years, the questions are coming quite contemporary and quite good in context with how it was coming way back. And like as per the news and all, I guess from the next year the pattern will in itself will change in coherence with the UPSC, right? So let's now focus basically on the present context, how the means in the present year will happen. So focusing on that, so let's see how is the structure basically like of the optional and all. So basically, we have the structure of there are 6 questions in regard with you have to write in 20 mark, right? And there are long questions that you have to write in 1,000 words, 3 questions. So first, let's first start with the long questions, because that is the problem where I even I have been evaluating some copies and all, and I've been also into this thing for seeing these things, the question papers as well as the answer sheets of many people. And I've seen people find it very difficult when they're writing the long questions, because what happens, like, it is 60 marker, they put it to 1,000 words, and to an extent they are connected to the topic, and after a point they just go haywire, like they're just hitting the bushes around, and nothing is in the context of what the question has been asked. So first, let keep the things very simple. Okay, 60 marks, sorry, yeah, 60 marks, keep it 5 pages, right? Keep it 5 pages, because you have to write it in 1,000 words. So as per your answer copy, I guess it will be 5 pages is more than enough. And if you are restricting yourself to 700 to 800 words also, I guess that's not at all a problem, because they are not searching for the quantity, but they are searching for the quality of your answers. And if you are able to express that in 800 words, it is well and good and way and good, but not definitely not less than 500 words, because they even check in the state services, they check the number of words that you are writing to. So yeah, 5 pages will be your standard pages for how much you will be writing if it is going by the pages way. And then how the structure should be for the answer. So as standard, like, yeah, intro, body, and conclusion, definitely. But how it is, like how what to write in an intro is basically the context, like where we fail in, like where we find difficulty in writing it. So when you're writing an intro, it should be basically sticking to the context the question has been asked. So if suppose a question is basically asked, so let's suppose in regard with a religion, right? So if you're starting with a definition of religion, right? The religion is, what is it? And then proceeding towards, I'm talking about the long question, right? So you're after that, like you're proceeding to the background of the religion. Background of the religion, how you will be contexting it, substantiating it with the thinkers, definitely with the thinkers. Like, okay, this person or this perspective of thinkers like structural functionalist said this thing about the religion. And background, like you're setting up the background of the religion, right? How the religion evolved over a period of time, right? This thing will be your intro part, like the definition, or like what religion is in perspective of different thinkers, and you are setting up the background in regard with it. So this will be basically an intro. So intro is nothing but basically you're trying to give the context that what I'm going to write in my body, right? So what is going to be in my body, you are just summarizing it in the intro, basically. So just by reading the intro, the evaluator, he gets to know, okay, what he has written in the body. that is the main thing, how the evolution is basically they're getting the crux of it. Then in the body part, you're basically now giving an arguments. Arguments means you're justifying what you are going to express, or like what you wrote in the intro, the summary. Now you are trying to elaborate it by giving certain arguments. Like suppose you are writing, okay, according to the functionist, the religion, as it has been said, is a social coherence thing where the people come together and they have a social cohesion. How it is, and then you try to define it more, going into by examples of contemporary as well as of the previous examples, like how then like suppose how Weber goes, the structural functionist Weber, how he defines religion, relating it to the economical aspect. So you are trying to elaborate now. You gave the context in the intro, now you are trying to elaborate it in the body part, right? And that should be substantiated definitely with the examples. It will be way good. Then like this thing should be, and keep the paragraphs small. I've seen a lot of copies, and like I've been seeing it, they're writing it like a hell, like it's like full lengthy paragraphs, like 9 10 lines of paragraphs with, in one line if you're writing like suppose 8 9 words and 8 9 lines, then it's going almost like 161. And like I'm reading like one paragraph is exceeding a way ahead, and what happens, you lose the consumption limit also. Like if I'm reading it, I lose an interest in it. Okay, what is he going to say, what is she trying to explain, that thing gets loses up. And an evaluator is checking in the examination, like in a day, not many copies. So definitely you have to make him interesting, you have to make him stick to your copy. So keep the paragraphs short, keep it 4 to 5 lines max. Change the paragraph, keep short paragraphs in the body, keep the short paragraphs, and that is not a limit how many paragraphs you're trying to keep. But yeah, it will be good if you're writing for 60 marker, keep it like for one, if you're trying to like define or like trying to explain one thinker or one perspective of a thinker, like functionist thinker or a Marxist thinker. So try to keep those into two paragraphs, like Marxist thinker, 2 paragraphs, one contemporary, one as a traditional, and substantiated with the examples. So it will be okay, a good amount of space you will be covering, as well as good amount of substance also you will be covering. Then this is the way that you should be proceeding in the body section, right? And when you are completed with it, you're going to the conclusion part. In the conclusion, what is happening is like you're just vaguely like just ending up writing ki like okay, and hence it is like what we see it is done, or what is like way bad conclusions, if I say in a blunt way, it has been written. So better you can just like in conclusion, basically what is the conclusion is basically what you have given the summary in the intro, you are just repeating it kind of in the conclusion. So just like suppose how you gave the definition of the religion and you're trying to give the summary, what you're going to write in the body, in the conclusion, you will be just writing, okay, however, like suppose for the religion, if you're writing it, however, with a period of context, the definition and the concepts of religion has changed, right? With a period, definitely with a period. Like when the Marx came and when the Durkheim came, and what was the context when the Marx defines the religion, and what was the context when the Durkheim defines the religion. Both the context are also different, right? The background of their definition is also different. Even the Weber's definition of religion is different from what they are trying to define, because the context and the background for him is different. So this is where the conclusion should be coming to. You'll be justifying because the background said so. But in and large, this has been evaluated and this has been done. Religion has been defined and done. Okay, and one more thing that I've seen, like it is not hard and fast that you have to only restrict yourself to only paper one thinkers, right? You can also write the paper two thinkers in it. There is no hard and fast in it. Even you can substantiate with the contemporary thinkers also. So you're not only restricting yourself. Try to figure out more contemporary thinkers and more contemporary topics to write into it. Like suppose you can also come up with a ecology of religion, ecological thinkers, sociology of ecology, environmental sociology, right? These concepts are also very contemporary and very new in it. And previous also many thinkers have defined it and said in regard with any particular topics. So you can also come up with them also. So that what happens with that is, and if you're keeping it in a short paragraph, what will happen is like, okay, the when the person is reading it, he gets like he's very much into it. So he will also find, okay, yeah, he has written something different. Okay, something which is like, okay, yeah, but it should all definitely it should be within the topic and within the context the question has been asked. Definitely it should be right. So this is what should you be following in the 60 marker basically, right? So any doubt in
If
regard with this, like
any okay, sir, like you can take like break in between like 5 to 3 minutes later, or you can ask directly. Make it a interactive session, so it will benefit both the candidates, and you can get into the students' mind also.
definitely, yeah, yeah. So like till now, do anyone have a
You can
doubt like
ask
how
like
to approach?
in Hindi, you can ask or English because sir don't understand Odia, so that may be the issue. Anyone who has some query regarding the answer writing, they can ask.
Hello,
Uh, Hello,
hello,
you are audible, but
hello. Good morning, sir.
Good
tell
morning.
tell.
सर मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि सर मतलब सर हर क्वेश्चंस में थिंकर जरूरी है या फिर सर कुछ क्वेश्चंस ऐसे भी होंगे जिसमें थिंकर्स मतलब डालना इतना जरूरी नहीं होगा, मतलब कुछ जीएस जैसे आंसर लिखना होगा, वैसा कुछ है क्या सर? सर या फिर हर क्वेश्चन में ऐसे मतलब सोशियोलॉजी के हर एक टॉपिक में थिंकर्स नेसेसरी है?
uh, yes. In regard to this, actually क्या है ना कि how you are differentiating basically GS and the sociologies wherein the thinkers come into play. ठीक है, नहीं तो what will happen is like suppose you are writing about tribes, तो tribes you will define based on the government data और फिर आप वही GS के पैटर्न में आप उसके आंसर्स लिखोगे। यहीं पे आपके थिंकर्स आ जाते हैं, तो वही चीज़ आपको डिफरेंशिएट कर देता है बिटवीन द जीएस एंड द सोशियोलॉजी। सो डेफिनेटली यू हैव टू राइट द थिंकर्स इन इट। अभी देखो व्हाट प्रॉब्लम इज कि लाइक क्या हो जाता है कि लाइक पीपल डोंट रिमेंबर, किसी को याद नहीं आता यार थिंकर्स किसको कितने याद है कि लाइक ओके व्हाट ही माइट हैव सेड और व्हाट ही शी माइट हैव सेड इट, राइट? So better approach for that is like you try to like get in depth of their understanding. Like suppose मार्क्सिस्ट थिंकर है, सपोज मार्क्स ने बोला, ठीक है, ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम मेनी डिफरेंट, लाइक सपोज कंटेम्प्रेरी में एक इरफान हबीब है, ठीक है, इंडियन थिंकर है, सो ही इज ऑल्सो टॉकिंग अबाउट द मार्क्सिस्ट अप्रोच। तो अभी आपको क्या है कि आपको अगर थिंकर याद नहीं आ रहा, यू कैन गो विद द concept of it, like what the Marxian perspective in regard with this should have been talking. Like suppose bureaucracy है, bureaucracy में everyone talks about or like if that topic is coming and everyone is just going and switching towards the Weber के बारे में उसको define करना शुरू कर देते हैं। But if you look at into it, even the Marxist perspective over a period of Marx ने नहीं बोला, but Marxian perspective over a period of time have also criticized the bureaucracy, and how they have criticized, that is also a take on it. ग्राम से है, ठीक है, एक मतलब इंटरनेशनल थिंकर है इन रिगार्ड विद मार्क्सियन, वो बोलते हैं, है ना? तो यही है कि आपको लिखना, अगर आप लिखते हो तो बहुत अच्छा आपका आंसर बनता है, बहुत अच्छा इन द सेंस मतलब वही फिर आपके जीएस और सोशियोलॉजी में आपको डिफरेंशिएट करेगा, अदरवाइज वो सारे क्वेश्चन सेम हो जाते हैं। तो बेटर पर्सपेक्टिव्स को समझ लो, पर्सपेक्टिव्स क्या है वो समझो। थिंकर्स अगर याद भी नहीं आते एग्जाम्स में, तो यू कैन बेटर गो हेड विद दैट आल्सो, दैट विल बी बेनिफिट, आई मीन दैट विल बेनिफिट योर आंसर एंड विल सब्सटैंशिएट योर आंसर टू। आई गेस द क्वेरी हैज बीन एड्रेस्ड, लाइक उसमें कुछ और?
यस सर, थैंक यू सर। सर मेरा था कि सर अगर सर मतलब हमको किसी टॉपिक के बारे में नहीं पता तो सर हमको हम उसको खुद से एनालाइज करके लिख सकते हैं कि अगर मार्क्स होते तो वो ऐसा एनालाइज करते इसको कि हम लोग मतलब खुद से ऐसे ऐड कर सकते हैं, या फिर हमने कुछ पढ़ा होगा और हमको थिंकर्स का नाम नहीं याद होगा और तभी हम लिखेंगे कि अकॉर्डिंग टू मार्क्सियन पर्सपेक्टिव, या फिर हम लोग मतलब खुद से एनालाइज कर सकते हैं कि मार्क्सियन पर्सपेक्टिव से इसको हम लोग ऐसे कर सकते हैं करके।
डेफिनेटली,
सॉरी
डेफिनेटली।
सर।
वो डेफिनेटली व्हेन यू आर राइटिंग, वही ना, वो बॉडी में व्हेन यू आर पुटिंग अप द आर्गुमेंट्स, व्हाट इज द आर्गुमेंट, आर्गुमेंट यू आर पुटिंग इन रिगार्ड विद दैट ओनली, कि मार्क्सियन पर्सपेक्टिव में क्या हो सकता है, अगर ठीक है, क्योंकि देखो इतना वास्ट टॉपिक है सोशियोलॉजी इन इटसेल्फ की, और बहुत सारे थिंकर्स हैं जो एक पॉइंट पे मार्क्सियन होंगे और एक पॉइंट पे स्ट्रक्चरल फंक्शनिस्ट होंगे, और एक पॉइंट पे स्ट्रक्चरल फंक्शनिस्ट होंगे, एक पॉइंट पे नॉर्मल फंक्शनलिस्ट थिंकर होंगे। ठीक है, तो वो हार्ड एंड फास्ट उनके बीच में तो डेफिनेशन या उनके बीच में बॉर्डर लाइन नहीं है कि वो फंक्शनलिस्ट ही है, वो है। तो you can give up a broad view ki okay, like now let's consider it in regard to the Marxian perspective, how this uh, now let's understand this particular topic in regard with the Marxian perspective. So you can just give a Marxian perspective, आप सबको पता है, मतलब एक तरीके से कि हाँ इकोनॉमिक इकोनॉमिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पे ही वो सारा चीज़ स्टैब्लिश कर रहा है, इकोनॉमिक स्ट्रक्चर पे बहुत आसान हो जाता है कन्फ्लिक्ट थ्योरी पे एक्सप्लेन करना वो चीज़ को। तो जब नहीं आ रहा है तो यू कैन गो हेड विद इट, इट्स वेल एंड गुड, वो अच्छा है, वो आर्ग्यूमेंट आप उसमें क्वेश्चन डालो और उसी को एक्सप्लेन करो, पुट इट एज एन आर्ग्यूमेंट, पुट इट एज एन क्वेश्चन कि लाइक ओके, अगर मार्क्सियन पर्सपेक्टिव में अगर हम इस चीज़ को सोचना चाहें तो कैसे सोचेंगे, तो हम ऐसे सोचेंगे, आप ही ने लिखा वहाँ पे, तो वो क्या है ना, इंटरेक्टिव बनाता है आंसर्स को, एंड दैट ऑल्सो पुट्स मतलब क्या है ना कि देखो सारे आंसर लिख रहे हैं, बुकिश पढ़ के आप बैठ के लिख सकते हो, 1000 आंसर 1000 लाइनें लिख सकते हो, बट वही है ना, क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग कितनी काम करती है एग्जामिनेशन हॉल में, याद करके बैठोगे जाके वहाँ पे, अभी क्वेश्चन जिस तरीके से आ रहे हैं ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, they have been evolving, or they are putting your critical thinking into it. So definitely this will help you if you're practicing it in previous, तो आप एग्जामिनेशन हॉल में बैठते हो तो डेफिनेटली इट विल हेल्प यू एंड यू कैन गो हेड विद इट, इट विल बी वेरी नाइस।
ओके, थैंक यू सर। सर वन मोर क्वेश्चन, सॉरी सर। सर एक्चुअली सिर्फ हमको पॉइंट वाइज पूरा लिखना है आंसर, या फिर कुछ फ्लो डायग्राम्स वगैरह भी बनाना है जैसे जीएस में बनाते थे, और डायग्राम्स वगैरह कुछ एक्स्ट्रा यूज करना जरूरी है?
या डेफिनेटली आप फ्लो डायग्राम इफ यू आर मेकिंग इट, इट्स वेल एंड गुड। क्या होता है ना कि लाइक इवन फॉर योर, आप भी जब जैसे व्हेन यू आर मेकिंग योर नोट्स, व्हाट यू डू लाइक व्हेन यू मेक अ फ्लो चार्ट, इट्स वेरी नाइस फॉर यू टू अंडरस्टैंड कि ओके व्हाट आर यू गोइंग टू राइट इनटू इट, राइट? So definitely when you're making a flow chart, the evaluator gets a concept कि okay what he or she is writing under it, ठीक है? तो definitely flow charts, but हाँ, too much of flow charts bad। ओके ओके, लाइक ओके, आपने एक क्वेश्चन में 60 मार्क का क्वेश्चन है, 2 फ्लो चार्ट्स बनाए हैं, दैट्स गुड, बट अगर अभी उसमें 4-5 भर दिए हैं तो फिर वो भी क्या हो जाता है ना कि वो कुछ ज़्यादा ही फिर वो हो जाता है कि ये खाली वही कर रहा है, ठीक है? तो आपको क्योंकि थ्योरी एस्पेक्ट्स भी लिखना है उसमें, तो आप हाँ ठीक है, 60 मार्कर है तो 1-2 फ्लो चार्ट बनाओ और उसको ख़त्म करो वहीं पे, मतलब ख़त्म इन द सेंस उसको आप एक्सप्लेन कर दो नीचे, तो वो बहुत अच्छा हो जाता है, दैट डेफिनेटली विल हेल्प एंड दैट डेफिनेटली विल मेक योर आंसर थोड़ा सा अट्रैक्टिव ऑल्सो।
ओके, थैंक यू सर।
थैंक यू। वन एल्स?
Hello. If any paid member, Lakshmi or Tamanna, if you have any query directly, you can ask regarding the series you're writing also. If you can ask, you can ask here.
Okay, I guess no issue. I mean, in the future, like abhi, we are proceeding the session. Let's proceed, and if at all you find anywhere any more doubt, you can just come ahead with it. No issue. And yeah. So okay, this was the thing which we are discussing about the 60 marker, like how you should be proceeding it with, right? Now let's see how you should be framing the answers for the 20 marker. Now here, definitely, whole thing is going into half. Word limit 1/4 हो रहा है, ठीक है? Even your pages should also decrease to half of it. Definitely 2.5 pages. Try to restrict yourself, not more than that, because see, the examination is definitely about writing, right? and more of it you have to also be calculative also in regard with it when you're approaching the answers. So अगर आप ज़्यादा लिख रहे हो, आप अपना ही like you're just consuming your own time, and you are just consuming the time for the second other answers. So better try to restrict yourself. Pages, why am I trying to discuss in regard with the pages is what happens like when you're you're fixed with you're having an aim of like okay 5 pages, 2.5 pages. So what is happening that you're restricting yourself, okay 5 pages now I have to do these three things. Otherwise, you can write 10 pages in regard with any topic. No one will stop it, and no one is going to say anything for it. But definitely, it will consume your time for the other questions, and it will impact your marks and your like approach. So yeah, for the short questions, you should I'll prefer like better go with 2 pages, and if it is too much, like you can go ahead with 2.5, but not at all exceed with it. After that, don't exceed because it will only consume your time. And in that, yeah, just try to stick to the point in it. Here, you're not like you don't have any scope of writing the historical background, because over there that is a long question. So definitely you are building up, you have to write a content, so you're bringing up with a historical background, the thing and all in the long question. Here just try to stick to the topic. What is like, suppose if the question has been asked in regard with the division of labor, right? Different perspective or something like that. To the point questions bhi rehte hain, and when you are looking at the short questions, it is to the point. Like division of labor kya hai, what is your take on the gender, right? So it is very to the point things. So if it is to the point question, you have to be to the point answer. You can't like just hit around the bushes. Division of labor, what is division of labor? Different perspective, conclude it. That's it. Conclude it in the terms like okay, division of जैसे मैंने बताया for the 60 marker also, same you go ahead with this also. Very precise and very to the topic. यहाँ पे answers होने चाहिए आपके. And in regard with like if you want to use a flow chart, one flow chart, definitely you can. You should be. I'll prefer like क्योंकि कुछ there are some questions and I was evaluating some copies also, and I found very interactive and very nice flow chart. Even that was a learning for me too. I won't deny it. I was seeing some person's copy last year भी देखा था. I was like they have been selected also, and this year also I've been evaluating some copies and all, and I find like yeah they are very interactive. So definitely flowcharts banane se it becomes easy for you, as for you also to explain it, and for me also to understand it, for the evaluator, any evaluator, right? So one will be okay with it in the short question, not more than one. Please don't draw. Better and then try to elaborate the answer and be precise in it. 20 markers में ज़्यादा हाथ पैर नहीं चलाना इधर उधर. Don't वो नहीं करना, बस to the topic, hit to the topic, that's it, right? Because ये इसलिए क्योंकि देखो like now let's see it in regard with like क्यों, why I'm trying to say this. Because see, if you go with the calculations, like how I find it, कि like if you're writing long questions, per long question if you're taking 30 minutes, okay, so 1.5 hour is consumed, right? So 1.5 hour you will be keeping it for the short questions. 6 short questions, 1.5 hour means almost rounding up to 15 minutes, right? So 15 minutes वहाँ पे round off हो रहा है, तो mean 15 minutes means 15 minutes. If you are exceeding the page limit or exceeding the content of yours, definitely it will cross to 20, and in other questions you have to cut down it, right? And it happens in the examination hall. When you go and directly sit in the examination hall, you will be blank. You will see the question paper and you are like okay अभी मुझे कुछ भी नहीं आता, I don't know anything about it. So you take your time also to settle down, and then you start writing it. That nervousness, that anxiety, even all that things also plays a role, right? So please don't write too much, but also don't write too less. Try to make your answers qualitative. जितना substantial और quantitative बनाओ, मतलब qualitative बनाओगे, that will definitely fetch you marks in it. Okay, and try to put contemporary thinkers as well as contemporary examples into it. That will make it very nice. So, is there any doubt in regard with 20 marker, like short questions, what to write and what not to, or something like that? If it is, uh, I hope that's clear, I guess. No issue. I mean, if you guys have doubt in regard with future, I mean, in future also, you can just text me. Like you can come through the channel of Niranjan. You can just contact him and we'll proceed with the messages and all. Whatever you have any query in regard with it, this answer writing or anything like. Okay. So now let's see the most important part of like how you should be writing and like till now we were discussing okay what should we be writing in the answers and what should be our approach in it, right? The one more aspect which comes into play is what not to write into it. Okay, because we have hell lot of content, you have been reading so much, no doubt you might have got too much of resource also to put into that paper, but yes, you have to keep yourself confined, right? So very basic, simple सा चीज है. Don't use jargons मतलब don't use heavy words into it. एक चीज के एक कॉन्सेप्ट को इफ यू आर ट्राइंग टू एक्सप्लेन इट, डोंट ट्राई टू एक्सप्लेन इट इन टर्म्स ऑफ लाइक कि like a PhD student or like a master's मतलब keep it in terms के like okay he's an undergraduate, okay, and just keep it as a simple. वो layman है, उसको कुछ भी नहीं आता था, evaluator is knowing nothing about it. Keep the explanations and the wordings of your answers to that extent. You don't have to use too much of heavy words or heavy sentences, all that and all. Keep it small, keep it simple. That's the only way. And if you are skipping, if abhi, what happens like when you're writing the examination, sometimes what happens like I've seen some person's copies and all, I was involved with, what happens like they are writing the answer and in between suddenly what happens like they're with the flow, and what happens after a while they come up with some certain topic that they have missed, missed that thing to be written in the first part. So what they do, they write it in the end. Now what happens like that flow in itself gets break. Okay, and the answer which was going okay, it becomes like okay, now this okay where this should be putting up to. So वो भी नहीं करना है. Don't like if you have skipped anything, just skip it. No issue. कोई बात नहीं है. But yeah, definitely. For that, try to whenever you are approaching, sitting for the question or writing any question, try to sit for every question, 5 minutes, draw a flow chart on your question paper or on a rough. What are you going to write? Headers, headings, जिसको कहते हैं ना. Try to write those headers. What are you going to write into it? So what happens when you're trying to write, you are just seeing the header. Okay, now my next paragraph should be talking about this. Tuck, 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 tuck. You are able to write it. So that won't take too much of time. Invest too much of time in planning the answer rather than writing it directly in the examination. Planning is more important and must. Even you guys will be in the future bureaucrats and all, so definitely you know that understanding and the thing what the role the planning plays into. So definitely put your main time into planning the answer and then approach for it, right? So till now, anyone have a doubt? I'm audible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 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 okay. So yeah, this was the thing. So next, uh, like what are the major themes that we should be looking into and what should be studying like that? See, for sociology, I'll suggest ki, like keep your concept very clear in the thinkers. State service mein what happens like if your concept in thinkers is very clear now, if you don't know the name of the thinkers, like how the query was also about it, if you don't know about the thinker also, you don't know any thinker's name also in regard with that, but you know the concept of that, particular theory or that perspective, you can write your answer, right? So if any contemporary topic is coming or anything is coming, you can write about it. So please keep your concept or invest your time much on the concepts and the perspectives of the thinkers. Try to learn and analyze it, what they are trying to speak, and try to learn and like put your critical thinking into different dimensions of them also. Like अगर वो एक Marxian, if he's only talking about division of labor or something like that, the liberal thinker, how he will be talking about, right? So liberal, we think कि liberal ideology भी एक thinker sociology में आ जाते हैं. Liberal perspective is also one perspective which which we are talking, because Marxian perspective in itself was challenging the capitalist model, right? And the capitalist model in itself was a liberalized form of society that was being following, and the liberalized perspective that were being existing in the society. So uh, try to link it so that when you are framing your answers also, no, it will put it way better. So major, put your focus more on the thinkers and their perspectives and their topics that they are talking on to. It will definitely help you. Second, thinkers, don't restrict yourself only to the one which are given. That is the must. Try to put into some contemporary also. Many thinkers are there, and if you want, we can share also the contemporary thinkers. You can watch some videos also in regard with it, and we have previous also we have shared some topics and thinkers in regard with them. इरफान हबीब है, ठीक है, दीपांकर गुप्ता, एंड्री बेटे, राइट, इवन पी साईनाथ एंड योगेंद्र सिंह, राइट, ये इंडियन थिंकर्स भी हैं, ग्राम से इंटरनेशनल थिंकर है, ठीक है. सो these thinkers are there and their perspectives are also very important because they are present and they are talking in regard. अभी जैसे like suppose Guha is there, Romila Thapa is there, right? They are not only restricting themselves into political science. वो ऐसा नहीं है कि वो political science thinkers हैं or something like that. ऐसा नहीं है. They even talk like party system. Suppose we have a topic in Indian party system and party structure, sociological aspect of party system in India, kind of thing. ऐसा एक अपना भी एक unit है. We have a unit in paper 2 like that, party systems and that. So these thinkers are have been also talked about that party system. So वो उनको you can understand and you can write in that particular context also, right? So don't try to restrict yourself only to the thinkers of that. Try इसमें investment ज़्यादा होगा if you're trying to put your more investment in the thinkers and their perspective. It will answer your almost 80% of your paper. 80% of your paper covered है उसमें. Rest you are just trying to put into the contemporary topics into it. So major things जैसे अभी इस वक्त like contemporary में जैसे हम देखें tribes पे बहुत issues चल रहे हैं. Recently also there was this like कल या परसों के पेपर में था that some tribes have been put into this tribal act, right, in respect to Odisha. So Odisha के what are the things that are being talked, what are the things which are going on. President is means like selected or elected from a particular state. So definitely it's a big thing. Forest Right Act. One more thing, food security, right? And I guess there was this ranking recently, and in that, Odisha was ranked first in it. And what was the background of it? Because if you know about I was reading about it, and it was like uh, the Odisha government has tweaked. I mean, they just try to mend some their own way of providing the food security. So they tried to include as many people into it as much, not only restricting themselves to the government guidelines of 75% and 50%. They tried to put it and make it more inclusive so that the corruption reduces and the inclusivity increases. And the food security aspect, the sociological aspect of food, providing food, and the security in regard with it has been addressed, right? So you have to link these contemporary topics in regard to the sociological aspect also. वो कैसे कर रहे हो? वो अगर आपके थिंकर्स क्लियर है, कॉन्सेप्ट उनके क्लियर है, यू विल डेफिनेटली बी एबल टू लिंक इट. Otherwise, we are there, right? Any topic, any discussion, कुछ भी कोई भी डाउट होते हैं, और go ahead with it. Definitely कभी कभी प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है in regard with giving you a immediate response, but definitely the response will come, right? So ये चीज़ है, and yeah, that is the thing, I guess. Anything else in regard, you guys want to ask or something like that?
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good
I'm,
morning.
yes, sir. I'm about to start, so I was a bit reluctant to ask you. So, what should be my approach?
Hello. Yes. See, um, if you're about to start with the thinkers. I'll just say that only. Start with thinkers.
No, sir. I'm not saying I'm about to start answer writing. I just no, copied all the things like those things were available on internet. So, but I have never started my writing myself. So, what should be my approach when I start writing myself?
For the answer writing you are asking, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay, okay. See, until unless you'll write and you'll give a approach into it, no one can say also like, okay, what should be your approach? So if you want to start writing it, try to keep it very simple. कोई भी topics, like take out the previous year papers,
yes.
or take any topic which you are feeling that you can answer this question. Any
Sure,
question that you feel like you can answer this question, try to write about it. Try to write about it. Definitely whatever you know you will be able to write it. मतलब जितना आ रहा है वो सब लिख डालोगे आप उस पे, and then you read your answer yourself. And if you have if you get an access to any toppers copy, we have I guess we have this in the group also. I guess Niranjan can
yes,
coordinate with
it's
it.
about the
we,
internet. I can access it.
so you can see that, like, okay, where I am going wrong and what they are writing this particular question, what they are writing and what I am writing into it, where am I going wrong. So you can analyze. See, analyzing बहुत important है. If you're not trying to analyze it, you're not trying to get into it what you are making wrong. Otherwise every answer you will feel कि like, yeah, I am writing right only, right?
So,
So analyze करना उसके बाद. So first, take any previous year question which you feel कि that you can write into. Start with that. I'll suggest that way. One which you know, try to write that and try to analyze that answer that you have written with the any topper's copy of it.
okay.
Right? That will be good.
Thank you.
I'll suggest that, and or else like we are here to help you. No issue.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Anyone else?
Hello. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, okay. Yes, ma'am. Talk, sir.
Hello.
Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, we should mention bullet points in sociology answer, like headlines, etc.
Uh, I'll suggest ki like better write in paragraphs. Bullet points, okay, that are like fine for short question. Yes, but what happens now that better, I'll suggest ki like better try to put it in short paragraphs, 2 3 lines paragraphs or 3 4 line paragraph. That will be better rather than going into bullets, because paragraph, what happens now, you are connecting it when you're trying to go from one para to other paragraph. So in the first paragraph you are trying to end it in a way that you are going to start the second paragraph, right? So it's better to write in a paragraph, short paragraphs, don't keep it too long. Bullet points, now what happens, like we are just writing, okay, family members 4, family size 8, 8, population 112. So what is it, like you're not getting the context, and what you're not trying to, like if you write it in the paragraph, like okay, in a village there is a population of 100, and With this we can analyze, okay, if per house is having 4 members, then total number of households are this. So that looks more like, okay, yes, he's writing something or she is writing something. So better try to write in paragraph and try to keep it small. That will be better approach, I feel that way.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, I got a broad idea about writing GS1 answers, and in coming to GS2 paper, it's actually the syllabus is overlapped with our GS syllabus, sociology syllabus. And previous year we got questions like liberalization and economic reforms, Panchayati Raj, in which a sociological perspective is needed. What I think, and writing those answers I get only limited points, so I get often very confused in the answer, um, exam hall. So what to write in that questions?
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely. That's what I'm saying now. Like previous 2 years, I've been seeing the questions paper and all, and that is like key is more going into contemporary topics, and they are like trying to broaden up. They are not trying to restrict yourself into the bookish thing. So yes, for that, that's why I'm saying like when you're reading any concept, try to like any current affairs or any topic, try to do a critical analysis and try to build a mind map in regard with it. If I'm saying critical analysis means you're trying to like connect it with every aspect. Okay, if we are talking in regard with like how I was saying like tribes, recently the names were changed in regard with it. Like suppose that food security act, like recently that was Odisha got a rank in it. So how you are going to link it food security aspect with the sociological aspect? Suppose like how you are saying panchayati, definitely it is a GS topic if you go that way. But panchayat, if you look at into that way in a sociological aspect, definitely it is a voice to the people. It is giving a voice to the people. So when you're going ahead with a sociological aspect, like how you going to think it, right? Suppose if a Marxian will say, what is panchayat? He will say, okay, panchayat is nothing, but it's just a, again, the haves and a have not kind of a concept where only the one who are having an influencer or the having a social capital is trying to influence the people and get into the power, right? But if you go with
Yes, sir.
the structural, if you're going with a functionalist perspective, what he will say, okay, like, okay, no, it is something which is making the society into, or making the society imbibed and making them in coherence. Okay, this is how this thing should be functioning. And if you go with a structural functionalist view, what he will say, okay, like, okay, this hierarchy should be there so that there is a proper flow of information and proper flow and accountability and all that things are there.
Yes, sir.
So this is where the concept of the perspectives of thinkers. That's why I was trying to focus, like try to learn the perspective of thinkers
Yes, sir.
rather than just focusing. Okay, what Marx is saying, what Marx is saying. Rather, what Marx in perspective may be thinking about that particular topic. So if any topic in regard with this is coming, you have the quite a lot of substance to add into it. So
Definitely,
yeah,
sir.
that
I
will be
got
better
I got it, sir.
approach.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Anyone else?
Okay, we can conclude if no one is asking, then we can conclude here. Later on, we can take any session with the papers, paper of toppers, or anything else the people, if the students ask.
Definitely,
Okay.
definitely. Like once we are
Hmm.
back, like we can have these sessions regularly so that even we can have an interactive and we can know, learn also how you're approaching, what
Also, we
is
are
going
starting a
on.
new batch on test series also on starting from Wednesday. This Wednesday, we are starting a new batch for sociology optional test series. This will continue till mains 2023. Means if you are writing this year mains, this will help you certainly. Okay, thank you. Thank you all the aspirants who were joined here. Okay,
Thank
well,
you
like
so
we
much.
are concluding then.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.